what for us as ITC, what do we hope is that there have been some amazing multi-year, 5-year, 10-year trends that we have just started to see get fully embraced. And so, for us, going back to normal is not just do we get to gather, but it's making sure that the industry can continue to sort of put, these long-term improvements in play as still a priority.
With me today is JAY WEINTRAUB, the CEO and co-founder of InsureTech Connect. Really excited to have you here today with us, Jay, and talk a little bit. It's good to see you.
It's very nice to see you too.
So tell me a little bit, how is the quarantine life treating you? I know it's been an adjustment for me, but where are you at? How's it going so far?
So it's certainly been an adjustment, but I think all that we can do right now is, besides taking, sort of one day at a time, it's also trying to look on the bright side. And for me, this has been a reminder that family is really the most important thing.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So in the past, I know for myself and us at Bold Penguin, there's been a lot of learning and adjusting over the past month here. A lot of our team has been virtual, but I think there's been there's an adjustment when everyone's virtual, and you learn a lot in that time frame. What's one thing you've picked up on and learned in the past month, or adjustment you've had to make?
We had the benefit of practicing being, largely virtual, or we knew how to be virtual. But it's one thing that when it's your own team that's virtual, and to your point, when everybody is virtual. So when I think about the sort of the new norms in a way, people talk about what's the new normal, but it's also the new norms. And I think the fact that everyone's been in many ways more patient with each other. They've been more sort of forgiving of the learning curve. And I hope when we think about this, that this ability to sort of allow ourselves to be a little bit more human with each other, I hope, kind of continues. But that's certainly one thing that we've seen that's been a real positive.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's the value of those interactions.
And by the way, have you learned anything? Are there any sort of these trends that have either surprised you? Any data points at all?
I think this will shape the way we do business for a while, and I think there's some carriers out there that probably caught on their heels a little bit because digitization is 10 years off, and now it's just been ushered in, and now you have agents asking, hey, how do we grow when we're not meeting face to face with our customers? Carriers, how do we get more customers in the door if this is going to be the new normal for the foreseeable future? And those conversations have just been accelerated by this. And I think it's going to be interesting to see the ones that started to make the investment 2-3 years ago and are continuing to invest in technology. Will they be that much farther ahead of the pack? I think so. But there's certainly some people that are moving very quickly right now because of this. Have you seen anything similar, or what have you seen from your side?
Everybody has questions. We see it on the earnings calls. We see it on every webinar interview, and we all have questions. I think we can predict where the future to some degree will be. I mean, I think I have yet to talk to anyone that believes that shelter in place will be here, 18 months from now or 24 months from now, or that people won't want to go see sporting events live. All right. And so I think we all believe and sort of can know at our core that we are social animals, that, we thrive on engagements, sort of with other people. And so it's really, the questions have been, not will we get back to, the way things used to be, but kind of like how long, what are those incremental steps? And then, right. And so that's what we are all trying to, gain some sort of insight on, those incremental steps in, hard to figure out where it's going to be 6 months, every 24 hours at a time.
Right.
Business as usual is oftentimes, how do I go about my job and sort of save money? And it's a different mindset to say how to go about my job, invest money, in making an unknown future even better. So those are the things that, we are going to try and, sort of, we will shift our lens just the way everyone else is. But as it is the right time to start to look more forward thinking again, we certainly hope we can continue to play a role in that, sort of further out future of what it can be and will be, and aligning people towards making it happen.
So what are you looking forward to most, coming out of this? I know I have the question in here about, favorite insurance event. I know what that's going to be, but and feel free to answer it if you like, but I just want to know what you're looking forward to, most.
I think for us, being in the live events business, we were hypersensitive to anything, sort of that was happening in the world. And, and we've had a lot of our own questioning around, what is the right way to do an event? What is an event look like in a world where people have now been told, you shouldn't even go around other people? I've asked ourselves and continue to ask ourselves, like, what is it that we can do to, sort of drive engagement and add value to, to this wonderful industry?
I completely agree with you. I mean, it's just that energy, the connections you make when you're face to face, the relationships, the experiences you have together, you can't replace it. And plus these Zoom meetings, I mean, they're exhausting.
It's like the little things. It's sort of, you think about something like this where it's a Zoom meeting, and do I look at you, or do I look at my camera so that it looks like I'm actually looking at you?
Yeah,
you're right. It is sort of tiring,
Yeah, I guess crises like this, they force that innovation, and some of the best things come out of it.
And I hope you're right, because imagine just how many, we've seen the creativity of people today, we've seen the generosity today. And so with so many great people and great minds, kind of focused on a common cause, and I really do hope that despite the immense amount of tragedy, that we will get to look back and say, wow, look what came out of this. It wasn't just generationally defining, right? It was world changing. I mean, that would be, right? We just gotta hope that something like that will hopefully be possible.
I like to think so, because I'm an optimist, but it feels like in world history, American history, I mean, when there is something that everyone shares a common experience, it brings people together. And you're right, to see people's generosity, and just how people, care for their fellow man. And it's just, it's inspiring. It really is. Well, Jay, thank you so much for joining me today. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed the conversation. I appreciate your time, and looking forward to seeing you in person here soon.
Thanks for having me on, sort of part of the digital Glacier. I've been, as you know, I'm fond of the people. I think you respect very much what you do for this industry. So it's been a pleasure to be here.
Thanks, Jay. I appreciate it.
Love what you guys, like, you're so creative. And so I was just so excited to sort of to even hear that you were going to, like, all of a sudden you started, BPTV, and what you were doing and how you were doing it.
I said this early on when we started Bold Penguin. We're really good at doing things. We figure out a way to get it done, and have a blast with it too. So that's something I've always been proud of the team for.
Just the fact that to hear that you can be excited about something, right? It's all we can ask for is, can we find at least a little bit of excitement, a little bit of spark and joy to our day? And so I'm glad that you guys sort of have that spark. I appreciate you for getting us all engaged in a way that's, like, exciting.